The question I have says minus 10 was gotten when the additive inverse of adding minus 6 to a number was multiplied by 10. We have to find a number. Please take a look at this underlying statement. When the additive inverse of adding minus 6 to a number, excuse me, let the number be p that I've written. When you add minus 6 to p, plus times minus is minus. Does it make sense? So when you add minus 6 to a number, the result will definitely be p minus 6. Now, what will be its additive inverse of what you've done? The additive inverse of a is minus a. Reason that because additive inverse of a number is that number which you will add to it to give you what? 0. The only thing that can be added to a to give you 0 would definitely be minus a. So a minus a is actually 0. The additive inverse of 2 has to be minus 2 because it is only minus 2 that will be added to what? 2 to give you what? 0. So when we say additive inverse of a number, let's say c, it will definitely be minus c. So it's just like the sign here, that's c that we are talking about. The sign here is plus c, right? So when you talk about its additive inverse, it's just like you changing the sign to minus. So what would be the additive inverse of minus 3? It will definitely be plus 3. You change it because minus 3 plus 3 is still 0. I hope you understand. So when I'm talking about the additive inverse of this one, the additive inverse of p minus 6, I will just change the sign. The additive inverse of p minus 6 will definitely be minus 2, minus into bracket p minus 6. Remember that we have to open the bracket. So what's the number closest to the bracket? It is minus 1. So if you use minus 1 to open the bracket, minus 1 times p will definitely be minus p. Therefore, minus 1 times minus 6 will definitely be plus 6. So the additive inverse of p minus 6 is what? Minus p plus 6. Now let's check if it is true that the additive inverse of p minus 6 is that number which you add to p minus 6 to give you 0. So p minus 6, and we say that its additive inverse is minus p plus 6. Now, is this thing giving us 0? P minus p is 0. Minus 6 plus 6 is 0. So it's correct. So the additive inverse of p minus 6 would definitely be minus p plus 6. I hope it makes sense. Now, they say that minus 10 was gotten when the additive inverse of adding minus 6 to a number, that's when the additive inverse of p minus 6, which is this, was multiplied by 10. So when I multiply the additive inverse of minus p plus what? Sorry, the additive inverse of p minus 6, which is minus p plus 6. When I multiply minus p plus 6 by 10, it will definitely give me this minus 10. That's what the question is saying. I hope it makes sense. So open the bracket. 10 times minus p is minus 10p. 10 times plus 6 is plus 60 is equals minus 10. So I have collect like times plus 60, you have to move over. So I have minus 10p is equals minus 10. Plus 60 crossing equals sign changes to minus 60. So minus 10p is equals minus 10 minus 60 is minus 70. So at this juncture, we divide both sides by coefficient of unknown. So the unknown is p, its coefficient is minus 10. All over minus 10, all over minus 10. Cancel minus 10, cancel minus 10. So we have that p is equals minus divided by minus is plus. 70 divided by 10, cancel 0, cancel 0. That's 7. So the answer is what? 7. And is very much correct.